All right, appreciate y'all's patience there. New computer, so I was having a few issues. Actually looks a lot clearer than my last one, so I'm hoping this will be a better journey for you, whoever's been following me for the last month and a half or so. Um, what we're gonna do today is a homemade pasta, pappardelle. It's a wider noodle and usually long. What I'm gonna do is make the pasta and show you how, and then with YouTube magic or TV magic, as we say, we will have some backup. So I'll show you what's going to happen here in a few minutes. Waiting for more people to join. Like I said, sorry again for making y'all wait. It's just a whole new thing that I'm working with. All right. What I'm going to do is show you what I have going on right now. All right, that is my setup. I actually took, instead of using my actual counter, I bought a silicone pastry mat, which is great. That way you don't have to worry about it. You can clean this easier. You don't have to worry about any kind of contaminants from the counter, which is not bad. It's a granite counter, so but I didn't want to mess with it, and it actually not slip. So it works. It works awesome, and actually it also works as a barrier for my pasta roller maker, because you have actually the cutting blades right here, and then you have the roller right here. So you'll get to see everything as I do it. I'm gonna make a half batch of dough because, like I said, I have some backup. I just wanted to show you the process of how I make the pasta. I am not a, let me look at the camera saying this. I am not a professional by any means, but I do like to cook. So, or I actually love to cook. And I love trying different things. The recipe that I'm doing today is a creamy tomato sauce with prosciutto in it. It is a takeoff of, I actually had the wrong name. Her name is the actual, called the Pasta Queen. She is awesome. She's hilarious. And her husband have a whole bunch of fun in their kitchen. And she's always doing some type of pasta or some type of Italian type desserts or meals, whatever. So, if you get a chance, I'm not trying to plug her, but she is hilarious if you love Italian food. And what she did was actually like more of a spicy version of this. And people that know me, I love spicy stuff, but I can't have it too much. Reflux, unfortunately. But if not, I try to dabble every now and then. But I still put like black pepper and different types of things and stuff. So what we want to do is go ahead and start the pasta. But before I do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and kind of guide you to what I'm doing right here. I'm going to go ahead and start boiling the water. I mean, you don't need to see that. You just know I have a pot, and I'm about to turn on the water for that. And I am going to start getting that to boil. And while that's boiling, or was going to start boiling, is I'm going to put a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, salting the water, basically, as they say. And that way the pasta will have like a little salt content to it. Plus, I use, if you watch people that do Italian cooking, they use pasta water to thicken up their sauces, and it is actually awesome. I wish I would have learned that a long time ago. I've been using it more and more, especially within the last couple of years, especially in the last year. And it does, especially if you worry about not having enough liquid, you will actually give it volume from by adding it to your sauce. So what we're going to do first is, while this is boiling, because the sauce is not going to take that long. All sauces, to me, when it comes to Italian food, sauces are really quick. Like I made a quick fettuccine last night, Alfredo, and it was quick because I wanted to do a little practice on the pappardelle pasta. But let's get started. So there you go. Get back to the mat. What we're going to do is, like I said, normally I would do a 2-cup batch, but I'm going to do a half-cup batch. And this is all-purpose flour. This is all it is. So, but you're going to see this backwards, right? Or it might be forward to you, it's backwards to me. We're going to do a cup. And for the flour, it's a little bit more than a cup here. So we're going to Put that onto the pastry mat. For every cup of flour, you want to use 1 egg and at least 1 to 2 teaspoons of flour. Shoot. And I'm sorry. For every cup of flour, you want to use 1 egg and 1 to 2 teaspoons of water. Sorry, I went blank there. So what we're gonna do is get our flour, make a little, I would say a little pool in the middle of it. And what you're gonna do is, also, if anybody's listening to me, can you hear me? Like I said, this is a new setup. So I wanna make sure that people can hear me good or well. So what I'm doing is cracking the egg in the middle. Wife is up in the background. I don't think she's like seen me from the beginning make pasta. So basically right there is where you have your little well in the middle. Then we're going to take a little bit of the water. Because I'm going to save a little bit because I like to use it on the outside. Fork. And just, I'm going to make sure there's a little bit more flour on the side because I don't want it to run out. So kind of just start scrambling the egg in the middle of the flour. Do me a favor. I'm asking my wife to do me a favor because I want to make sure everything is working for y'all. Go and see if you can hear it in the other one. She's my technical supervisor right now.
Such as it is.
Mostly it's going to be taste tester, but every now and then she's going to be my technical advisor, make sure everything's working properly. So basically, as you see it, it's starting to take in some of the flour. All right, I'm told it is a go. If you know anybody that would love to just look at somebody cooking and learning a few things as well as teaching a few things, give them my channel my channel name, and tell them to subscribe, and they'll get updates weekly and all that good stuff. And the ones that are following now, I appreciate y'all. So see how it's thickening up? Looks more like oatmeal almost, like a runny oatmeal. So we're gonna start adding more flour. Like I said, I don't make it like everybody. Some people might do it differently and put it in a bowl and stuff like that. But I like it this way. I like it this way. As you see, it's getting really thick. Take more of the flour in. Oh, and by the way, make sure your nails are cut and your rings are off because it's about to get messy. And you start incorporating it more and more. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Start taking some of that flour again. All right, we're gonna clean the fork. And it gets a little messy. You're gonna get flour everywhere, so don't wear your best clothes. Speaking of anybody that sees, my nerd shirt this week is Rick and Morty. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a big Rick and Morty fan, so that's the day. I was trying to do the Batman every week thing, but there's only so many Batman shirts you can have. So let's see, does it start coming together? As if it's getting too dry for you, just add a little bit of water. And usually I'll add it right to the mat, which will help you now. This is why the mat is really good. So I'll put that on top of that. And what I'm doing is rolling in and then pushing out. Rolling in, pushing out. And at first it's going to seem like it's a mess, but it starts coming together. Trust me. If you're not patient, you can always add a little bit more water, but just don't add too much. And if you want to work out, pasta is the way. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll put a little indentation, put a little water in there, take some of the stuff off the pastry mat, and then roll it in there. And for y'all that have actually been looking forward to me having a live stream every week, I apologize for the last couple of weeks. It was one weekend was a holiday, and then one was trying to actually find a computer. And I decided to not go for a MacBook, which was surprising for me, but I realized that I do more with my gaming, and I just didn't want to buy a MacBook for YouTube. So I wanted to go on with a gaming computer, a gaming laptop, which is actually working really well for me right now. All right, the chat room was a little quiet tonight. Last week the last time it was booming. Don't be afraid to speak up if you have any questions. Put a little bit more water on the mat. That way I can suck up some more of the flour. Now, as you see, the flour is pretty much being incorporated, all of it that I've used. And actually, you'll start filling it. So now I'm rolling it and then pulling it in. And I'm starting to get the moisture that I need. Again, taking some of the rest of the incorporating it into it. And one more. This is all pre-measured water, so it's about 1 to 2 teaspoons. This is about 2 teaspoons. All right. All right, you can start filling it now that you can actually pretty much almost make it into a hole, which is what we're going to do next. So you can see how now it's almost looking like a malleable dough. But that's the next thing is that some people would think to go ahead and start cutting it and making the pasta. No. Just like all things, it's always good to let it rest. And then pasta is definitely not an exception. I can't say that word right now. So what we're doing now is I'm gonna roll it a couple more times. And what I'm doing is turning it inward at the bottom.
Mother asks how long you need the dough.
Until it starts feeling a certain way. Let me put it this way. Depends how fast you put the water in and how much moisture you have in it. Like right now, I can actually do it. So right now, like I said, it feels like it's at that point. And I'm pretty sure the more flour you use, you're going to be kneading for a minute. This one's a smaller batch. This will probably make a batch for one person, maybe 2 people, depending on how much they eat. See, what I'm doing now is just basically stretching it out and then turning it in, stretch it out. So your goal is to, I want to knead a little bit more and put a little bit more water. I just feel like I want mine a little bit more moist. So I'm gonna knead it a few more times. Pull, roll. All right, so we're doing now again. Just turning. I'm still learning about pasta, so I'm not sure I'm sorry.
Lower it down. There you go.
I was up in the air doing what I'm doing now, so you didn't miss anything much. So now what I have, bam, there's your pasta dough. So what you want to do now is get you a piece of saran wrap. You're gonna put that in there, make sure it's wrapped up pretty good. And then you can put it in the refrigerator. You want to at least rest it for 30 minutes. The longer it lasts, no problem. This is right here. That'll do it. And actually, you'll see it. You'll start seeing the moisture content increase. It'll be a lot more malleable and have a nice little feel. You're going to actually have to dust your mat to go ahead and be able to, be able to work with it. So there you go. So I'm going to go put this in the refrigerator. All right, what I want to show you is that I actually rolled up some last night. It actually works really well. I put it back in some plastic, have a little flour on it, and then I can roll this out, or I can go ahead and cut it as it is and put it in the water. This is something that I made last night. This is the one I made about an hour ago. As you can see, it became, I don't know how it smoothed itself out compared to what it was looking like before, like the other one. So the water, the moisture, everything is kind of, it rests itself. I'm learning more about the process. So, as I get to making more pasta for y'all, I will have a little bit more science behind it. But this is the one we're going to be working with today. So we have that right there. Water is still boiling, which is good. Trying to make sure everything's timed well. What I'm going to do is actually get some of this pasta off. And really, the good thing about this being next to the sink is that you can just put everything, wipe it into the sink, and be done with it. Easy cleanup. Love this thing actually, and they're fairly inexpensive, so I would suggest getting one. It is also used for everything, measuring, pie crust, all kinds of stuff, pizza, whatever you want. So I'm actually going to wash my hands to get some of this pasta off, this dough off my hands. So give me 1 second. Okay. All right, I want to dry this off. All right. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of flour. I'm not going to use my whole. It's a little bit in that corner, and what I'm going to do is basically dusting the area where I'm going to go ahead and kind of roll it out first before I go ahead and put it into the roller, the pasta roller. As you can see, it has a different consistency, and like I said, I just did this maybe about an hour ago. It's a little bit, definitely more moist. So what I'm going to do is actually a little bit at a time. Have one of these in your, instead of having to use a knife to cut on your silicone mat or your counter, perfect. So we're going to take half of this and I'm going to start rolling it out. A little flour, dust it. That way it doesn't stick to the counter or to the mat. Because I want to get into a thickness and I'm able to put it through the roller. Yeah, you got it now. It's got a nice little thickness to it. All right. So let's move it over to the pasta maker. If you haven't seen one of these before, they're actually good. They're pretty inexpensive. And oh, I already actually have it on 5. We're going to be going through a few times. It's not a big issue. Let me go ahead and thin this out a little bit. I want to start a little smaller. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to roll it through a couple times because you're going to want it with a sheet. That's what you want. So if you've never seen one of these used, here's your first time. As you get, see what you got going on. This is also perfect for ravioli. Keeping the sheets like this. And then when it starts getting easier, then we're going to take it to the next notch, which right there was 2. So now I'm going to put it in 3. This is the old-fashioned way. You can always get the attachments for a KitchenAid or whatever. Get one that is, I would say, automatic. This you can actually control it a lot better to me. And this was actually given to me from some ladies at my the old church that I used to go to. They saw that I liked cooking or loved cooking, and they wanted to give me something. And they surprised me with this. And this is an older one. But it is awesome. As you see, look at that. How it's become. Love it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go on to the next one. 4. I want to get to a thickness of 6. We tried 5 yesterday, which was good. But I just thought it would be a lot better being at a thinner. And see, as we increase it, it gets longer and longer. All right, no resistance, so we're going to the next one. If you feel like you want to put a little bit more flour because you think it's pulling, go ahead and do it. Just sprinkle it on there and rub it. Do it on both sides. All right, so we're going to go ahead and increase it to 5. And also the flour will help it from sticking at the bottom here. So look what happened just from going 4 to 5, how long we are now. So what I want to do is, since it's getting really long, I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to find a point that I want to put it in half. And this one is going to go into a 6. And that's where we're going to stop at. Let's put that at the end. So now we got this long sheet off of that long face. So there you go. Bam. So what I'm going to do, there's 2 ways that you can cut this. One way is with a knife, which is what I'm going to show y'all today. So what we're going to do now is that I'm actually putting more flour. Like I said, don't worry about getting messy. It happens. And flip it on the other side. Okay, I'm sorry. I got ADD there for a quick second. All right, the second way is having a pasta cutter. Actually, there's 3 ways, and I'll tell you all 3. All right, here we go. There's this little tool called a pasta cutter. a pasta cutter. This one's a Pappardelle one. There are different kinds. You can do one. There's one for fettuccine. There's one for tagliatelle, and other types, maybe even angel hair. But this right here, it would be perfect. All you do is roll it across like you would do a rolling pin. Not most of y'all don't have that, so I'm not going to show you this today, or I might show you on the other part that I do. But what we're going to show you is why I did the flouring on this, is that we're going to roll it up and then we're going to cut it with a knife. That is the easiest way to do it, especially for different types and to be more ununiform, not so uniform. So Raven's going to hand me my butcher knife, and then I'm also going to get a butcher knife. So we got the butcher knife. I'm going to get a cutting board real quick, which I forgot.
All
right, and also we have another way, which I already had shown y'all before, is this right here. These are blades right here. This is more of a spaghetti right here. This is a fettuccine. If I was to run it through this, it would actually give me perfect noodles, perfectly cut noodles. But what's the fun in that? So what we're gonna do is, since I already floured, we're gonna roll it up. Just like this. So I don't ruin up my. So basically, you have a pasta roll, exactly. And what you want to do is, if you look, you'll see that you want to do them at least that wide. So I'll show you by using this as my guide of how I want it. So you got your 1, got your 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we can just chop in off of that one. So what you got now is pasta. And what you can do with these pieces is actually go ahead and cut them another, like long ways, which we'll do here in a second. That way you won't have all these long noodles, which actually is, we're going to keep it like this because I actually like this idea. Plating would be awesome. So we have this. Has enough flour on it so it's not going to actually stick together when you put it in the water. This is the fastest way to make pasta. It takes about 5 to 6 minutes, I think. I go by the look, but there you go. So, pasta. So let's go ahead and do the other one, because I'm making a big pot tonight. Actually, since we have enough, I'm going to go ahead and save this. Looks like maybe 1 egg and 1 cup of flour might do justice for 2 people, especially now that I actually use the 6 flattening. I don't know which way to say it that way, but the rolling it at 6. So giving me plenty of time for some pasta here, some extra pasta. All right, let's put this to the side. Let's go ahead and finish rolling this one out.
Mother says that's pretty.
Oh, tell her thank you. Well, I'll say thank you. Yeah, tell her thank you. I can say this. And just like that, we have another long sheet. So it doesn't take much. I'm going to set this over here for right now. I'm going to put a little bit of flour. Dust it again, like I did the other. And it looks like we got some good boiling water there, which will be fine. So I actually put a little bit extra water just while we're cooking. For you that know me, I love pasta. And I love pretty much anything Italian food-wise, because you can make so many different sauces. Even some of it is not traditional. You can come up with all types of different things, different types of, how how you say, different types of pasta, adding squid ink, different things. You can pretty much liquefy anything that I've seen and actually add it to pasta to make it like a broccoli pasta. You can make spinach, all kinds of stuff. So we're doing again, same thing. Actually, I told you I was going to do, let me show you what this looks like. I didn't think about that, not bad. Let's go ahead and cut off a piece here, and I'll give you a little look-see of how it looks when you do something like this. So you start at one end, and just push hard. It does like a stick sometimes, but you gotta just muscle through it. You can also put some flour on this too to help it out. So that's another way. So you have pasta cut like that. So you have different ways to do it. To me, cutting it is the best. But if you want to show off, the way to do it is with some tools. So, bam. So let's finish the rest of this with cutting with a knife. We'll roll up easy. You can actually make this pasta and actually put it out to dry and use it at a later date. You can do that. You would just hang it and let it dry itself out if you want to do that to have dry pasta. So my little fire engine over here just made a sound. Give me my warning. So once again, if you want to use it as a cutting tool, you got it. But you can eyeball it. And then that's the cool thing about pasta. It makes it in different sizes and shapes, which is good. But we know this is closer to Pappardelle, so ain't no biggie. So my pasta is done. So now what we're gonna do is make the red sauce, or creamy tomato sauce with prosciutto. If you don't know what prosciutto is, it's a ham that is usually smoked, dried, and sometimes smoked. It's usually dried and it has sometimes has a sweet, but it's definitely salty. And this will be my first time trying it with a red sauce, but I just love prosciutto, so I know it's gonna be good. Actually, both Raymond and I love it. We've had it with different things. So, bam. So we'll see that for later. So let's get you moved over to the other. All right, how y'all doing? Everybody having fun watching? All right, we're gonna give you a bird's eye view of. Oh, and I want to show you a little something. That I know it's just a trash can. Perfect for a kitchen where you cook. That way you don't have to touch the lid or step on something or whatever. Automatic opens. I definitely recommend getting one. All right, so what we're gonna do is not advertising. San Marzano peeled tomatoes. Awesome. Bacento, I think is the way it's pronounced. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our own tomato sauce. Make sure not to cut yourself. Good thing for get that good stuff off of there. These are our whole Roman tomatoes. Try to get much of that sauce. Actually, what I like to do is add a little bit of water and get the remnants. This is the only time you'll really see me with anything canned, because there's just something about canned tomatoes. So you got all that nice tomato juice there. Let me wipe that up. It's gonna dry me.
of hard to get tomatoes from Italy anyway.
Yeah, so this is going to be the closest you can get. As my wife said, it's hard to get sometimes tomatoes. All right, this is another one of my little tools. Immersion blender. You got 2 settings. And then you got the ultra fast. This is for quick blending. So that's what I'm doing. And that quick, you have tomato sauce. Add your ingredients. So what I'm gonna do is I have some organic all-purpose seasoning, which has everything that you would want to have in a tomato sauce. So what I'm gonna do, this is it right here. It's got everything, oregano, celery, all kinds of stuff. Thyme, just blend it in. And it doesn't make a mess, which is what I love these immersion blenders for. I'm gonna add a little bit more, and then I'm gonna stir that in. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna add a little bit more. Nice and red. Smells great. Can't go wrong. Plain and simple. All right. So we're gonna do. Go ahead and start the oven. And then we're gonna start sauteing some onions first.
Mother says she needs the recipe for tomato sauce.
We'll get you. We got you taken care of. All right, let's get a little bit closer here. Actually, I want to try this a little bit. All it is tomatoes. It's not gonna hurt. I actually want some more seasoning. All right. All right, that'll be on standby. Where's my trusty spoon spatula? I'll set this up, and then we're gonna get a little bit closer to the stove. Bird's eye view. So anybody that's watched me before, does this look clear to y'all? So that's a good thing. I guess what happens when you have a difference between a brand new computer and a 7-year-old computer. That's what I'm looking at. So right now we're waiting for the oil to get a little bit up there. So I'm just gonna kind of thin it out over the pan. Let's check out the onion and see if there's anything going on with this. Not yet. We'll give it a few seconds. What we want to do is with the olive oil, we're going to go ahead and saute the onions, and then we're going to add the tomato sauce. And then actually what I want to do, because I want to do a little different, is that I'm going to add the onions, and then I'm going to do this prosciutto. So while this is actually getting a little bit, oh, there we go, never mind. Once I put the onions in there, then I'll work on the prosciutto. My wife is getting my prosciutto for me. All right, so we're going to saute these until they get translucent, which will be almost clear, but not quite there.
Would you like me to open
No, let me show them. All right, this is actually a smoked prosciutto because I like smoked things, and I think it would be good with this tomato. So what we're gonna do, it is cooked, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna slice it, which I'll show you here in a second.
Mother says everything looks very clear.
Okay, thank you. I think this might help out a lot for people that want to see more detail. I actually had some other onions that I had prepared. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those as well. All right. I'm picky about onions, but I love using onions, especially dehydrated chopped onions. So they were using fresh though. This is deserves using them fresh. So I'm gonna keep on going back to this. So we're gonna do first is open this package and let's go ahead and recycle this. All I gotta do is dust it off. Ooh, that smells so good. Almost smells like bacon.
Smoke.
Oh yeah, that is going to be awesome. Actually, I'm gonna do this like that. Go ahead and rinse off my just fold it. And then we're going to chop it. If you've never tried prosciutto, try it now. Just get a chance. And I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna try it. Ooh. Try that. Normally we don't get it smoked, but I wanted to try it when I saw it. I felt that it would be really good. So while this is, ooh, that onion smells good. Wish I could be here to smell this. One thing I want to let y'all know is if I actually am slurring or I'm actually having problems with some words, I have been doing Invisalign for about 3 or 4 months, I think. And it's like changing my teeth around. So sometimes I can't get words out because of what's going on. So especially when I'm talking and doing my YouTube live feeds, I might have it in there. So just forgive me until this adventure is over. Never thought I would be doing something like that, but I just had the opportunity and I wanted to try it out. A lot better than braces, which I never would have put in my mouth. All right, so what we're doing is let's move the knife. Let's get back up to the pan. So right now I'm adding the prosciutto. gonna start searing that and cooking that with the onions. A smoky flavor with that onion, oh, it's gonna be good. And ooh, I can already smell it. Smell good. I'll get y'all close here in a second. Yeah, a few
Yeah,
more
it's
pieces.
really close. It looks good.
Okay.
You get closer.
Are we gonna share this little bass, right? All right, washing my hands.
Mom says the prosciutto looks very good. It's almost like you can taste it.
Oh yeah. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we're back up on it. I'm gonna turn this around. What's gonna do really nicely is, as the onions are cooking, the fat from the prosciutto is cooking with it as well. You can always almost say it's like cooking it in pork fat, which it is, but a really good pork fat.
Mm.
Since we're taking the time just to get this all sauteed and stuff like that, like I said before, if you know anybody who would love to see this, let them know. They don't have to look at that live stream, but they can watch the video after it's uploaded, which you always do. Sometimes it's just the way it is. You just can't make it for live streams. And plus, this was at the last moment. This has been a busy week for me, like I had stated in my earlier upload video. All right. What I'm gonna do now is add the tomato. And I'm getting every little bit of goodness out of there. That's why I like spatula spoons. Because stuff like that. Get everything out of it. Start incorporating it. Make sure that heat is up high because we want to get it to a nice boil, simmer. Like this, the lady that I saw the recipe that did this, like I said, mine's a little different, just a little bit. But she said this is the only red sauce recipe that you can actually put cream in. So, like I said, everything else is probably non-traditional, but that's what's good about food. You can do your own takes on it and go from there. So once this cooks down for a minute, we're going to add the heavy cream. And I want to make sure there's a little bit more black pepper in there and then also some more salt. But as this is cooking, let's let this get to its boil first before I put the pasta in there. Because I want this to have a nice boil while the pasta is cooking, or a nice simmer. And this red sauce will help break down all the prosciutto that was kind of like stuck together. All right, we're starting to see a little bit of bubbling. One other thing that I normally do when I do my sauces, I just like the way she did hers with this one, where she actually just put the chopped onions in, give it a little bit more bite. Is that I blend my onions in with my tomatoes to have it just like every little bite. But I think this will be nice. Give it a little, the little extra chunks will give it a nice little bite. They'll be tender, but it'll be flavorful. All right, as you see, the pot is getting hotter. I'm using my big skillet. One that I've been having for at least a couple years. Love this thing is for big meals. All right. All right, let's go ahead and add the pasta. Make this the main attraction over here. So here's the pasta. Adding it to the water. Taking my little matching blue tongs. Doing a little swirl. Stir, stir. Ever remember that thing where you actually pat your tummy and rub your head at the same time? It's hard. Same thing with stirring with 2 spoons. Same thing. So this is looking actually good. The flour, it is not sticking, it's cooking. The good thing about fresh pasta, it doesn't take long at all. So about 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes, we'll go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, this is actually doing its thing. Getting nice and hot, and we're going to add the cream here in a second. Don't mind me, I'm cleaning while I'm cooking because it does bug me a little bit. You need a head of cream? My wife is giving me the head of cream. Let's move back down to the sauce. I'm actually looking up ways to do dual cameras where you can see me from a different vantage point. I still have to look that up. I am planning on maybe getting even a better camera later on, but I'm not exactly sure because this one's actually looking pretty good. Because I thought I was going to need a better camera, but all I needed was a newer computer. So I'm trying to use the same 5, 6-year-old one, or is it 7? I know it's between 6 or 7. So this is getting nice and hot. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to mess with the pasta again. I'm over here. Nothing really fantastic about this, but it is cooking. All right. Got the heavy cream here. What we'll do is while I'm stirring, add the heavy cream. Keep on stirring it until it's fully incorporated. If you think you need more, put more. If you look at it, it almost looks like tomato soup in a way. You can see all the spices that I had put in, which was, like I said, organic, all-purpose. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more. All right. Put that back in there for me. Thank you. This is also going to thicken up the sauce because of the heavy cream. I thought this was going to be a shorter live stream, but I guess my magic number is around 60 to 70 minutes. I think later on, once I get better with the whole editing thing, I will actually go back to those videos and do another version of them and take out all the extra waiting around and just make an actual shorter video, maybe 15, 20 minutes or so, and go from there. I just wanted to do live streaming because everybody does edited videos. Anything can happen. You can mess up, screw up, cause a fire, whatever, burn a house down. But here, you get to see it all live if I do that. So that's what makes it fun. To kind of give y'all a little bit of a secret that I've been holding since maybe like the first or second stream, I've actually messed up a couple times, one including burning the hell out of my hand, but I can actually take pain, so it actually works out. So things happen in the kitchen. I'm just able to hold under pressure. I'm not saying that every stream is going to be perfect, because they aren't. They're definitely not. But maybe you'll get to see an accident or two. Maybe you won't. That's what's all good. That's what's good about live streaming.
It's like NASCAR.
Just happens. You gotta stay tuned to see anything.
NASCAR.
NASCAR. Yeah. All right, as you see, the sauce. We get you a little closer look. Even though you can see it really well, but look at that. Beautiful. So pasta should be done. So I'm turning off the pasta for that. I'm gonna get a little fugu. Look at this, noodles. That was half of it. So let's go ahead and start incorporating. I'm gonna turn on this sauce, and I'm gonna start adding the pasta. That's the next thing. All right, so like I said, long pasta. Taking it right out of the pot. There's no need to strain it because you need some of that water anyways. Setting it on the side of the pasta pan that I was cooking in, and just adding. Pasta water is good. Don't freak out. The only thing bad about it is hot as hell. So we're gonna sit back on the heat and start incorporating. Start getting that sauce between those pasta noodles. If y'all can hear you, I mean, if y'all were here, you can smell this tomato. It's just awesome. Actually, get the wife's gonna give me something that my daughter. Yeah, that's it. That my daughter got me from Olive Garden Meridian. Y'all will know exactly what it is. But as you see, look at your pasta. Look at the sauce. Beautiful. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. And I wanted to thicken up. I'm gonna turn it up really quick. Those noodles. And as I do with everything, I'll make me a plate, take a picture because I have to put it up. One other thing, while this is simmering for a little bit, for a few minutes, take my trusty cutting board and get some I want to show y'all before I say anything. Italian parsley to put on top. Nice contrast. Like I tell you every time, food is art. And what I'm gonna do is take a few sprigs, rinse them off. Dry them off. And fresh, not dry. You lose flavor. So what we're gonna do is take a few of the leaves. And then we'll just do a coarse chop on these for on our plates. Bam. All right. Can you put it back in the refrigerator for me? This being with the sauce, we're going to go ahead and put it in a nice little bowl. She already got me prepared. All right, so I am actually going to turn this off. So everything is off on the stove. And as you can see, it thickened up quite a bit. Well, I'm sorry. As you can see, it thickened up quite a bit. That's from the pasta water. Because if you ever seen a dumpling, that's what we're doing with the pasta almost, because you have flour on it already. So you're kind of making a sauce already in the pot when you're boiling. All right, let's start plating.
Mom says she thinks she can smell it from here. It smells wonderful.
Thank you, Ms. Mamie. Nice long noodles. Of course, I'm gonna put little pieces of prosciutto there and here and there, because I want that to be shown. Plating is always a big thing. And that being said, yes. When you're taking photos and pictures and stuff like that, you gotta do what you gotta do. It happens in the big restaurants too, trust me. Trusty chef's knife here, like I said, a little rough cut. First. All right, as you can see, yes, Olive Garden. Little pecorino romano. And a little bit of Italian parsley. And then bam. Creamy tomato and prosciutto sauce with a pappardelle pasta. All right, picture first, then hand it over to the wife. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. All right, once again, bam. Let's head on over back to the table. Let me get my camera. Sorry, I'm hoping I'm causing sickness. Oops. Well, here you go. Give that to her. Excuse me while I get this corrected. Got my floors are clean, as always. Oh, you got a nice little closer look. Normally she's further away.
No, that's good.
And for the test try, she might want more cheese. She always wants more cheese.
I always want more cheese. That's very good. I like that 6 for the noodle. It's like it's
Better than the 5.
Mm-hmm. That was a little thick, but this was perfect.
I actually like the 5 myself, but some people want to have that. And what you can do is we can actually always cut those noodles down, which would be even better. But sometimes you have the mixture, the uneven of the noodles. It makes it feel more homemade. So you have some shorter noodles, you have some longer noodles, as you were seeing me plate it, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it like homemade. You want some more cheese?
Yes, with the smokiness of that prosciutto. I've never had the smoke prosciutto. I know we've never bought that before, but that's really good.
Tell me when.
I'm not gonna say it. That's it.
All right. She loves her cheese.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me let her finish her food and talk to y'all. All right. I'm actually liking the quality of the video. It looks really nice on my end. Normally it was a lot of stuttering. This one actually has a faster download and upload speed on this computer. So that's why I'm probably getting a more accurate video. In the future, I might incorporate some things where somebody can actually go around the kitchen with me and make it easier. That might be something that we're working on. I just want to see what I can do. A lot of things I like to try to control myself, but it's just nice to kind of get trained by doing that. Then I can actually let somebody get into it. But there you go. I'm looking at the computer, but I'm not looking at the camera, so sorry about that. Hope you enjoyed this. More Italian food recipes coming, as well as other things with seafood, pork, fish, and well, seafood was part of that, but fish definitely. Seafood I try to put more with like shellfish, with shrimp and oysters and different things like that, crab, whatever, and then also beef and chicken. So I use everything, and then some vegetarian dishes will be coming up. I am thinking about making a ratatouille for the people that are not meat eaters. I actually have the Disney-inspired ratatouille that is a nice hit. The good thing about that is you can make a ratatouille by itself and people will just destroy that. And then I can actually make something with it, which I've made a tomato and butter shrimp and have that on the side. So just depends on what we do that day. But anywho, anybody you would know to want to see this video, just tell them. Actually, after the live stream views do help me out, so that would be great. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, and let them know that if they want to see a possible catastrophe, just have them stay tuned. You never know. So, anyways, y'all have a good day, and I will see y'all next Saturday at 5:30. Thanks. Y'all have a great one. Bye. Oops. Gotta end it first. Bye.